North Carolina's own Senator Thom Tillis is one of 4 U.S. senators leading the bipartisan effort to change the country's gun laws.
But until that happens, gun control is left to the states. So for a closer look at where we stand in the Carolinas, let's bring in our chief legal correspondent, Seema Iyer. Seema, this is a convoluted issue here, but can we start with what the current laws are right now in both North and South Carolina?
Okay, so I've broken them down because the regulations, they have their own regulations. So we're going to break this all down for you on what the status is in both North and South Carolinas. So let's go through the categories, shall we? First, we're talking about age limits. Now, in North Carolina, you have to be 18 to buy a rifle or a shotgun. In South Carolina, there is no minimum age, whereas in North Carolina, you have to be 21 to buy a handgun. South Carolina, 18. No permits in North Carolina, permits are required for the purchase of a handgun, not for a rifle. No permits required in South Carolina. Registration is required in North Carolina, not in South Carolina. Background checks, there are some criminal background checks in North Carolina. South Carolina, even less background checks required. Waiting periods. North Carolina doesn't have any waiting periods. Red flag laws right now, no red flag laws in either South Carolina or now North Carolina. And open carry laws. There's no state in North Carolina that prohibits open carry without a permit. And in South Carolina, so in North Carolina basically it's okay without a permit. South Carolina, again, less restrictive. And assault weapons, this is the big hot topic happening right now. There's no ban on assault weapons currently in North Carolina or in South Carolina. So overall, you guys can see that basically it's very easy to carry and purchase guns in the Carolinas.
Right, and so and it all varies differently by state state, but again, as you mentioned, this is a really big topic that a lot of people are talking about. So what new measures or gun reform measures are U.S. senators considering?
Okay, so what's happening now, like, of course, you know, we have the senators that are working towards reform, and Thom Tillis is one of those 4, and then we also have the hearings going on. So there's 4 main areas that this core 4 group of senators is working towards, and I want to go through those with you right now. First, we're talking about those red flag laws, and those are basically laws that allow a person or a police department or other entity to petition the state when you think someone shouldn't be carrying a gun, if they're a danger to themselves or others, okay? The other area that they're targeting, these mental health programs. And a lot of programs in this country, they are run by the states, but they receive federal funding. Now, also, they're looking for more regulations on juvenile offenders. This gets tricky, guys, because juvenile offenders, their records are more protected because they're juveniles, so these regulations are perhaps more intrusive. And then finally, stricter licensing for gun dealers. This is also a very tricky issue because, and we see this a lot in the Carolinas, a lot of gun dealers are considered more of hobbyists, right? So like, you know, those antique stores, those hobby stores, so they may not put themselves out there as actual gun dealers. Another point I wanted to let you guys know is that Tillis said that there wasn't likely going to be a federal red flag law, but how you get it under like the federal jurisdiction is that if federal funding is given for these laws, and that could help more of a uniform type of law.
I'm glad you explained that. And I'm glad that you explained the red flag law as well, because we mention it so many times. And for the average viewer, they're not going to know, well, what is that they just mentioned. So what can we expect here? I mean, are we going to expect any real change in the gun laws as a result of all of this? What do you think?
I really don't know, because change takes such a long time. And of course, that this particular hearing is going on. This is more of an investigative hearing. It's not an actual hearing to accomplish anything. So that could take some time. Also important to note, because everyone's top of mind issue has been the Uvalde shooting. The Department of Justice is investigating Uvalde and the measures that were taken, whether they were appropriate or not. That investigation, a report should be submitted not for 6 months from now. So everything takes too much time. And in the meanwhile, states are looking to implement stricter gun restrictions. I know our governor is trying to do that, but states that have been more proactive have been New York, New Jersey, and California, just to name a few, guys.
Yeah, and we know that that's been a big national and federal conversation, but don't forget that states can, you know, if nothing comes out of that on the big scale, every state can kind of make their own new laws.
Exactly, and I think Governor Cooper's more proactive than the other governor.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see, because the two states are very different, North and South Carolina, and you see it with the legislation. So,
right.
Thank you, Seema. Appreciate the insight.
Thanks, ladies.